Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We are still at it with our Sanguophage run that we just started. Last time we had gotten everything going. We landed, we got our crops planted, we got some starting buildings set up. We kind of defined where our initial hallway is going to be in our fortress, and started researching. So pretty productive first episode. I'm excited to see what else we can accomplish as we keep moving forward with this. We got Maddie now has a short bow, so she can help defend as opposed to just Edward with his admittedly badass sword. And we're still good on hemogen packs and food for the time being. We're not super great on, but we have rice coming in very soon. The only potential issue is that we are going to start seeing potentially a mood debuff coming through for when they do run out of our packaged survivor meals for not eating human meat. So we're going to have to be mindful of that as we get things kind of moving forward. In the meantime, what we can do, it's a little warm. Are they complaining about that at all? Not really. Oh. She's happy with her lover, Edward. So, yeah, we've got Edward Cullen and his now girlfriend, Maddie Madison, here out in the wilderness. They started a relationship very quick, which is really funny. We're not putting them in the same bed because I am not ready for them to accidentally pop out some children. Sorry, Maddie. We're not there yet. I also don't know how the genes would work for that. I think that would be an interesting thing to find out at some point is what happens when you have a Sanguophage and a normal baseliner have a kid. It'll be fun to see. Let's see. So we want to get our altar set up. We need a temporary facility now, and we can kind of get our things set up, and we should be able to put in just a single pew should be fine. Can we do a pew, or do we have pews for this? If not, it should be fine. Maybe not. Unless I'm just not seeing it. Maybe not. Okay, that's fine. Don't necessarily need it. And we finished the recurve bow. So we should be able to make one here, yes. It uses a bit more wood, but it does one more damage, which should help in our defenses. And for our next research progress, or well, let's let him finish this. But for our next project, I'm thinking we'll go straight for smithing. I think noble apparel would be really fun for later on. What's that? Visitors. Well. Oh, it's from the Forerun Alliance. We're not quite ready to start a fight with them just yet, but I imagine at some point we will become less than friendly with them. In the meantime, it will be good to keep at least neutral relations so that we can avoid getting raided too much. So we can buy some more components, which would be actually very nice. We can buy some more medicine. We should do that. They have packaged survival meals. That's pretty good. And a revolver, which also could be kind of interesting. We'll buy the revolver just to see how that goes. But the packaged survival meal we'll leave because we have a vein of silver that we can harvest from. This will just be helpful. Yeah, don't need that. Don't need the jump pack. I think we're good. That's fine. And we can move that in. Move that in a little bit. No problem. Yeah, we have a vein of silver right here. I don't know how much you get per. Oh, 40 per. So that's 4, 8, 12, 16, at least 160 silver, depending on how deep that vein goes. That's fine. That will replenish our silver a little bit more. And there's his first feeding of hemogen. That's awesome. Really gonna last a while. So we're not in urgent need. So the thing is, we can get hemogen from Maddie if we need it. But you do get, obviously that causes some detrimental effects on her until she can, you know, replenish her hemogen supply. So we'll try to avoid that unless it's necessary. Ideally, we'll kind of get to a point where we can either take a prisoner from a small raid, or I don't know, be in a position to where we can maybe take some of her hemogen, but we've got a good amount of time. The important thing is we're gonna have a nice, well, nice might be kind of stretching it a little bit. It's not really all that nice, but we have a small church here for our ideology. He failed. Oh, that's a bummer. That's gonna take even more time. Well, come on, Edward. What's your construction speed or construction skill? It's not as good as Maddie's, to be fair. Maddie really should be the one doing that. She's currently harvesting rice plants, so not gonna be hungry. That is for sure. Yeah, we have 6 meals left. We should probably get just a little cooking area set up. And an exotic goods trader. Okay. This is a large group of people, so we definitely don't want to cross them. Same with the last group. Even if we wanted to kind of cause a fuss with them, would not have been the smart thing to do. All right. Yeah, we are doing fine on rice right now. And let's see if he's going to be successful in constructing it the second attempt. Perfect. Nice. All right. So we can do, I guess in the next day, we will do our ritual to set Edward as our leader. Wow. Glitterworld medicine, plasteel, components, advanced components, donkeys even. Plenty of stuff for sale here. Cruncher's Guide to Food. That's a good recreational thing. You can also buy a lung, bionic jaw, psychic sensitizer. Wow. We don't really need any of this. Cooking 250 XP per hour. That's kind of cool. That could be an interesting purchase, but I would say not critical. But we... Alien artistic. That's interesting. I don't know. He also, I feel like, would want to keep a library of things to read. I think there's some logic to that. Still need to bring in the gun, but that's fine. Yeah, we're almost out of food, so we will want to start crafting up a little bit of a kitchen. Let's do a fueled stove. We can do it right here. And then let's, let's put at least a little bit of a floor to try to keep the cooking area somewhat clean, perhaps. Just to reduce the risk of food poisoning, because I think, let's see, is Maddie our cook? Maddie is our cook. And she has a level 7 cooking skill, which is fine. No, this is the quest to get a grav ship. We are not. No, we're still salty from our last failure of the grav ship run. Good lord. Yeah, this won't be perfect. Psychic Soothe, so male colonists are feeling great. That's awesome. Yeah, we wanna settle into this area, so the grav ship really wouldn't make sense for us anyway, but Oh, this is good. And then let's... still working on some stuff. How's the cotton coming in? 31%, about a third of the way there. Perfect. Was that them cutting that tree down? Oh, mad hair. See, this would have actually been a great opportunity for a more serious raid because we have so many people here that would just fight it. But hair is also interesting. It will, yep, die basically instantly, which is fine. And now they're going to leave. We've kind of gotten lucky with, I mean, knock on wood. We've kind of gotten lucky with raids so far in that we'll get attacked by a single wild animal who will then be killed by people wandering by. He's going to read. He's going to leave this book outside for some reason. Let's maybe haul this, and then haul this, and then haul... Wait, let's do this differently. Let's haul this. Right, there we go. And then haul, and then haul. Okay. We don't want this stuff sitting outside if we can help it. We're going to need better storage also. So... gonna want some good shelves. Like, oops, not there. Immediately put it in the wrong place. Put like there, 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 and there. That will get some things off the floor for us. And we will link them. And set it to be, let's clear, let's copy these settings and then just paste it here. Perfect. That'll work. This is the annoying thing about this is having this fertile land so far away. So what we'll probably want to do is rice grows pretty quickly even on its own. So what we could do is just use this for longer crop cycle crops so that we don't have to consistently come out so often. So potatoes, corn, cotton being another example. Things that will not necessarily send us out like every other day. We should probably build them a bed as well. We've made them sleep on the ground quite a bit. These sparrows, wild boars. We have a lot of wildlife here. Badger. I don't think I've ever seen a badger. Amazing. It's a shame we prefer human meat because there's so much potential meat out here. And I had even flagged when we started. There's a few wild animals out here we could. I'm guessing the badger killed those, but we don't really. Yeah, they're gonna rot soon. We should probably do something about that. Let's set a butcher station right here. So we can at least butcher them. And then, oh right, smithing. Get that started. Yeah, because we also have a rabbit we can butcher. It takes longer when you have two people. You can't really divide as much of the labor. And I'm also giving them a lot of competing duties. So ideally, if we get another person, it would be great to have them dedicated pretty much entirely to starting to dig out our future home. 217 rice. Feels like we should have more. Oh, but with maybe their growing skills are not great, so they probably botched quite a few. 5, and yeah. They've wasted a lot of rice. And we're out of food, actually. So we're going to need to focus on this now. Let's cook simple meals. Do until you have, let's say, 12. And then replenish at like 5. And then do we have that? Yeah, we should prioritize that completely. There we go. We do not want them to starve. Research is moving along. Smithing will give us access to helmet, which is really good, an axe, steel and silver tile, electric smithy, and then we can start working towards, we could do long blades, which he already has. I think he already has a long blade, but we can move on to machining, which will also be really helpful. It's not too warm either, so they're, I think, fine with a little sweaty. What's the temperature inside is 97. That will probably do it, won't it? I know it will make them feel better though. If we just do a ritual. The Awoken Governor is this our leader? We want him to be our leader, right? Hold on. Let's make sure we know. Bloodfeeder Master. Bloodfeeder Master. We should make a Bloodfeeder our leader. Okay, yeah. Wait, yeah. So Edward should be the leader of us. I think it suggested her because her social might be a little bit better. Is that why? No. Awoken Governor. Let me double check. Yeah. Leader who hosts a group. Yeah, okay. We're good. Edward, and begin. Ooh. This is a terrible area, but since we're just doing a role change, we're not doing like a huge ritual or anything like that. It doesn't really matter for the time being. Edward explained his weaknesses and how to overcome them. He talked about the social structure of the community. Very inspiring. What else have we got? Offer thoughts on the social... Oh, again, we're just... Come on, man. Improving the colony. Beautiful. To improve the colony, we just need more blood. Like, that's all we really need is more blood. And I think we need to remember that. His judgment makes him suited for the role because he's determined to get more blood. So her mood should be much better now. Bloodfeeder Master. Perfect. So she gets a +2 there. So that's just a constant +2. That's awesome. Still hates her environment. She's still sleeping on the ground. We should do something about that, actually, urgently. You're playing chess. Your recreation's not great, but what's going to be more important is probably having beds. She will get sleeping alone, maybe? I don't know if maybe it doesn't matter as much. No? Okay, well. And there we go. And then these can get deconstructed. There we go. Now they'll be a little happier. So that will go away. Quite comfortable. Normal beds. Awesome. Still have plenty of wood to gather. We also need to bring in the rice pretty quickly. So we'll let Maddie focus on just cleaning up her tasks. We have loose marble chunks. I really like the idea that, like, we want this to be palatial, you know? We want this to be a luxurious fortress, basically, that they exist in. And the risk of that is that our wealth is going to skyrocket because marble, I'm pretty sure marble is, like, one of the more... I mean, aside from making it out of, like, gold or, like, gems or whatever, I think marble is a pretty expensive floor option. So, there's some risk. It's our last tree to cut. Yeah. Perfect. And let's butcher forever. Just taking a walk. He's researching. We're going to have smithing soon. I think it'll be good to give them helmets. Although, ideally, his actual... role attire is a beret. So that will be his headpiece of choice. The The plus side is because we don't have Death Undowned, there's not as much of a risk that he's going to get shot in the head and have his head explode. So, take what you can get. Oh, right, she's making a recurve bow. Let's see. Eating. Okay. This is a very, very depressing looking settlement so far, but it's a promise of things to come, even though our food is slowly wilting away in the background. But the important thing is we have a bow. That's more important than getting food inside, I think, according to her. Let's see. Fishing, carpet making. Oh, the great bow. That does 17 damage, 4.5 damage per second. Good armor penetration. That could be like a next step at some point, not necessarily right now. I think, yeah, we'll focus on... Let's start working on power, because we're going to want that pretty soon. Let's research the battery. Actually, let's stop research for just a minute. We need to get ourselves situated here. And by that I mean we need to bring 214 rice into the house. When Edward's done reading. There we go. Or tomorrow. You know, we could also just do that tomorrow. That's fine. Pretty low stress so far. Now, I don't want to say that I'm setting myself up for disaster by being so lackadaisical, but should be fine. Should be fine. I have a lot of wood. Should be good on wood for a while. There's 74. Yeah. And then they can start hauling the rice, maybe? It would be awesome if they did. Yeah, perfect. We have 8 meals. We're doing fine on food. Again, we want to get to a point where we can start getting human meat, because now we're going to start to see... I think we will start to see a moodlet for no human meat in a certain amount of time. Oh yeah, it's tracking down here. Maddie will become unhappy if she goes more than 8 days without eating human meat. So we want to keep that in mind. I think it's the same for him. Yeah. So something to consider and work towards. Let's start mining. The risk also, one other thing, as we start digging this out, is there is a risk of infestation depending on where you're digging. So here, the dark green is where you have a risk of infestation. I didn't think about that, but it's a possibility. Actually, maybe we can just take that off, because that's going to be... And if people would like, we can always turn it back on, but let's see, custom. You can see colonist instant deaths, 0%. I think I turned it down. Enemy death on downed, also the same thing. Let's see. I think it should be, that's the economy anomaly. Just reading, existing insect hives does not infestations can occur. Maybe there's not a way to turn that off. Generation, natural hives. Only if applies to map generation and does not affect active insects that may tunnel in. Okay. All right. Well, it seems there is no getting rid of that, right? Unless I'm absolutely blind. It's very possible I'm blind. Waste pack, cocoons, extreme weather, intro threats, quest threats, predators, hunt humans. Yeah, we'll see. It should be fine for right now. Okay. So the idea is we are going to have a kind of like holding jail here, right? So something like this, a place where when we're getting raided, we have a place to kind of lock them up in the meantime, decide what we're going to do with them. Our growing area is going to be kind of off to this side here. It should be a pretty good size because, again, we're going to be, possibly dealing with a large number of population. So like quite a few fields can be grown here. And then, but broadly speaking, this will be kind of our killing hall, like this is our defensive area. And so inside, we're going to want the hospital pretty close to the edge as well. Armory pretty close to the front edge. I did download a mod for different types of compact storage, but I think I forgot to turn it on before starting this playthrough because I didn't notice it. So I will probably try to have that ready for the next episode. Assuming it doesn't break anything. If it breaks something, then we are going to have a more interesting time, but I think it should work with active saves. Maddie is going to equip the recurve bow. She's going to go back to chilling. Yeah, I think here is good. And it doesn't need to be anything big. It just needs to be just a place to hold our prisoners. And then, yeah, this will be our general farmland. We'll have like little exclave out here to cover this steam geyser at some point. And then we'll build in from there. That will be pretty cool. Yeah, so where before we did a role change, this is where when you're doing an actual fair or ritual, things like that is where quality factors come into play. Although mine actually looks pretty good for this. Extremely low expectations does help quite a bit. Yeah, this is... Oh, right. Let's get battery researched. It's annoying that these are probably going to start eating our crops, but what can you do? Yeah, I think hospital on this side, and then armory on the top side, I think would work pretty well. Feeling pretty good about that. So if we were to plan that, let's say like, this is the doorway here. Like, nothing crazy. If it's just going to be weapons and armors, things like that. A few shelves, things like that. Maybe some... I think we have mannequins, actually, too, don't we? Let's see. Furniture. Yeah, we have outfit stands. So we can, like, put the outfits on the outfit stands and display them, too. That'll be pretty cool. And we can always stretch it out a little bit more if we need to. Hospital, on the other hand, is going to be... Just leave the clock running there. We're here. So this will go a little deeper. Kind of like this. I guess we could also... Nah, let's not do necessarily that one. I feel like that looks kind of goofy. Yeah, pretty good size hospital. Again, we'll expand it if we need to. And then beyond that, we'll probably have like our storage area here. So that's also pretty close to the outside, but not so deep that we can't bring things in pretty quickly. And then crafting room would obviously go next to that. Maybe we'll put that up here, actually. So we have the armory, we have the storage, and then we'll have like a crafting area somewhere nearby. So everything's kind of connected. Hospital we'll put next to the kitchen and dining area so we can get food and medicine out to the sick pretty quickly. I think that'll work. So that's, you know, spitballing kind of like what we think this will look like so far. I think it's going to be nice. This is fun to plan out. I don't know how good it's going to look, but it's going to be fun to plan out nonetheless. he's just going to town on the research bench, which is excellent. And I think we'll say, yeah, we won't dig all of this out quite yet, but we will start digging further in to get our hallway set up so we can plan out the more important rooms for them to use. Want this to be pretty nice. I think like, yeah, I think if we do like a crafting room like here, kind of stretch this up out like this. Maybe should be enough room for different crafting stations. Again, we can make it deeper if we need to. And it will connect to a deeper storage, like again, pretty large, but probably needlessly large at first, but over time we'll gather more things, which should be pretty nice. And I think we'll probably prioritize this and the kitchen first so that we can get power set up, we can get refrigeration, all that good stuff. So we'll say here is going to be the fridge. Well, let's see. How do we want to do this? Let's do kitchen in the front side of it. So like this will be the kitchen area. And then beyond that, we'll have a doorway into our refrigerator. Yeah, like that. 5 by 7. Let's go a little deeper. I think that'll work. Yeah, the kitchen is 3 wide, so we can have the cooking station here, butchering station over here, so they're kind of separate from each other. And then we'll have that connect over with the door into the hospital, and then we'll also have it connect over to a dining area. So we'll say like, this can be our... It's a good looking dining area. Like this, connect like that. We're thinking like very grand here. Needlessly so, if I had to guess, but it's gonna be fun. And the nice thing is too, with the way that this is set up, if we smooth these walls, we can get a beauty benefit, I think, from that, and we won't have to necessarily dig it all out and replace it with stone walls. And we're finding components along the way. That's even better. Awesome. And we finished research on batteries. So we're going to want to do, let's do solar panels. No, hair meat. Yeah, that's fine. Let's do solar panels next. Let's get some good sources of energy. And I think we'll eventually tear down this structure, replace it. You know, we have our little holding jail here, but then we'll have solar energy or wind power and energy generation over in this section walled off to protect it from raids as well. I think that'll work. This is nice. All right, this is a good plan. I'm feeling good about this. I think this is going to be something good to work towards. The question is going to be, when are we going to get our first raid? And how bad of a raid is it going to be? I don't think it should be too bad because we're not exactly spoiled with a ton of wealth right now. We're not much higher than we were when we started, but we'll have to see. I think it'll be good to get, once we research solar panels, we can start working towards, we'll do advanced lights just to ease the power needs of our lighting, but then also probably go towards machining next so we can get better defenses and start working on something a bit more protected for when we do get attacked. But I think that'll do for right now. You know, not the most explosive start compared to the way we finished with our graph ship run, but there's a lot we're building towards, and I think this is gonna be really cool. So thank you so much for watching. I'm really excited to see where this leads, and I hope you'll come check us out next time. And I'm also streaming live on Twitch. There'll be a link to that in the description below. But hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you next time.